Folks, what's up? This is Michael in the wee hours of the dead of night and the graveyard shifts with your daily trivia question. Yet once again, happy Friday, folks. Get that happy Friday dance going on. We have made it. Now we all just got to get through it, get to a great holiday weekend coming up. I think it's going to rain today. However, it's supposed to clear up by the weekend. So there you go. So the answer to the previous trivia question was, of course, bail, or the process or practice of bail. So bail in the United States refers to the practice of releasing suspects from custody before their hearing upon payment, which we've all pretty much familiar with. So bail practices in the United States, they vary from state to state, but it has its origins in English law, as most things do, going back to the 1700s. The original Bail Reform Act of 1966 was a little more liberal than what we have today. It actually expanded the rights of defendants to be released pending trial. However, by the 1980s, things had changed. The same title of the Reform Act, and the Bail Reform Act of 1984, was a little more conservative and restricted. This allowed for the federal courts to detain an arrestee prior to trial if the government can prove that the individual was potentially dangerous to the community. So this whole thing took 3 years. Okay, finally came to a showdown in the Supreme Court in 1987. The Supreme Court upheld, and remember, times have changed, so had the Supreme Court. In the 60s, we had the Warren Court. Now we have a little bit more conservative court with Chief Justice Rehnquist at the helm. So the Supreme Court upheld the 1984 Act's provision, which provided for pretrial detention. Provided detention without bail based on the level of the potential community danger and the arrestee's dangerousness. It was a 6-3 decision, and the court held that detention without bail is constitutional. It can be allowed. Mr. Salerno, who had challenged the act, that was the name of the case, claimed that it was Fifth Amendment due process clause violations, and the court rejected that notion. The court held that the government's interest in protecting the community can, in fact, outweigh individual liberty. They called this a pretrial detention without bail a quote-unquote potential solution, actually, to protecting communities. The act only applied to a specific list of serious offenses. That was number one. It placed heavy burdens on the government to prove that the arrestee posed a significant threat to others. And it did not prevent the accused from enjoying a speedy trial. So after all those boxes were checked, as per the 1984 Act, it was not unconstitutional. So they actually upheld the Bail Reform Act. A couple of cool geek factoids. It was a 6-3 decision, and dissenting justices were Brennan, John Paul Stevens, and Thurgood Marshall. Most of those were leftovers from a more liberal court. Okay, those dissenters. Bail can also be denied if the funds used to post the bail likely came from an illegal source. So if like a limousine full of mafia people showed up to pay your bail, it's probably not going to get approved. Salerno, by the way, was noted to have ties to the mafia, the person who actually brought the case to light. The group most affected by the law and its constitutional upholding, I thought that was interesting, was repeat drug offenders. So it didn't do them any good, for sure. All right, folks, let's close the week out. Get the weekend started with a brand new trivia question. Check this out. This is a good question. Man, we've had some good trivia this week. We sure have. For May 27th, on this day in 1907, coupled with rat infestations and the conditions caused by the Great San Francisco earthquake in 1906, this pandemic spread rapidly throughout the city and eventually sporadically jumped across the bay and into other areas of the United States. Good luck, folks. Have a happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Thanks for all you do.